Hello, Footballer Nation, and welcome to the greatest rising podcast in football. My name is Carson, and I am a Trey McBrideaholic.
My name is Alex, and I'm a Billsaholic.
And I'm Ian, and I'm a Bearsaholic.
To hear more about Week 15 of the NFL season and some UFL news, make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the episode. But first, let's go ahead and roll our intro. Hello, Footballer Nation, and welcome to Footballers Anonymous, the greatest rising podcast in football, coming at you after a crazy week of football. How was everyone's weeks?
Pretty good. For those who listened last week, you guys know I was going to this Bears game. There was a lot of complications on the way there, but made it to the game, and it was amazing. And it was an amazing, amazing game.
What happened, Ian?
Well, the Chicago Bears the Browns came into Soldier Field and got belt to butt by the Chicago Bears, 31-3. Y'all heard me say I wanted my 3 picks. I got the 3 picks on Shador. DeAndre Swift had 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore 2 touchdowns. I got to see Caleb Williams ball out on person. It was great. A lot of great things happened.
Hey, you're not going to get stabbed. Shout out.
I'm not going to get stabbed. That's right.
Shout out. All right. Well, I think it's only fitting that we open this episode of the podcast with we asked you to ask us questions and we answered them. We got none this week. So I'd like to turn the time over to Alex for our comment of the week.
We actually got none of those either, but we released the episode late, so that was part of it. And we also released a short, but there hasn't been enough time for comments. And then the third thing, y'all did slack on the questions.
A little bit.
Yeah, that's on you guys, not us.
That's not us. In fact, the other stuff wasn't us either. That was just our production team.
Yeah,
Facts.
Production team needs to get on that, dude. Like
The interns.
Bro.
But our comment of the week, because I thought this was funny, is from Brian Allen H1Y on YouTube. It says, a 3-loss Bammer is though. Not Bama. Not Alabama. Not the University of Alabama. Alabama.
Bammer. Listen, I understand the context of this comment, and that comment did age very well. We're recording technically on Saturday morning, but late on Friday night. So this Bammer playoff game has already happened. I see you. I see where you're. This guy knows ball.
And so do we, because all of us chose Alabama as well.
Yes, we did. It's true.
Pretty
chose Alabama.
Pretty sure we all chose Oklahoma, but
You don't know what you're talking about, Alex.
I think we might have. Speaking of Bammer, we got the 2024 fan-voted favorite segment of Footballers Anonymous coming at you. It is Carson's College Knowledge. We got some news for you. We got a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about in the Game of the Week section. We'll be talking about the FBS and FCS playoffs. Thank you. Just a couple of other things have happened. First off, congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, now known as Fernando Heisman-doza, as he did win the Heisman. Congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, future Arizona Cardinal, as you may know. Very excited for him, but there was a lot of drama behind Fernando winning the Heisman. First off, if you haven't watched Bro's speech, you should watch Bro's speech. It's actually incredible. Fernando Mendoza might be one of my favorite people. So shout out. But as Alex said, good old Diego Pavia. For those of you who are new to the podcast or don't remember, Diego Pavia is my sleep paralysis demon. This man haunts me in my sleep. I hate him. He has caused me so much suffering. And he had a whole lot to say about this Heisman race. First off, he lied about his height for some reason. His records and whatnot for Heisman said that he was 6'0", and there are so many pictures of him standing next to the other Heisman candidates. He's definitely 5'9", very small, but all right. There's a great video floating around of him walking in with his 2 brothers, and they genuinely look like they're from the mafia. So cool. He was very upset that he did not win the Heisman. He posted on his story immediately afterwards. He said, F all the voters, but family forever, though. So cool, I guess. And then later he was seen in the club with an F Indiana sign. He was flipping off a bunch of Indiana fans. It was really bad. Really, really bad, to the point that he had to post an apology that was 100% ChatGPT generated, which, as you know, we here at Footballers Anonymous do not condone the use of AI in any sort of formal manner whatsoever. So really just shameful activity by Diego Pavia. The world is now rooting against Pavia in his bowl game this coming month. Which I love. I just want to say that I hated Diego Pavia before it was cool. Just saying. Kind of crazy, though. And also really sad for Vandy with their kind of Cinderella story the past couple years becoming so relevant because of Pavia in a big sense. Vandy's been a fan favorite school for the past 2 years just because of this story, and Diego's just kind of killing that real fast. But what are you going to do? In other news, Johnny Manziel. In case you don't know who Johnny Manziel is, Johnny Football. Johnny Manziel is Texas A&M's greatest football alum ever. He's very important to the school. There are photos of him floating around, throwing up the U in the club, hitting the Miami U. A week before his alma mater's biggest game in program history, when the Aggies will face Miami on Saturday to open the Saturday slate of the college football playoffs. So I think that is a great start for Texas A&M, knowing that their pride and joy in Johnny Football has their backs 100% of the way. The U will be down, by the way. In other wonderful, wonderful news, for those of you, I totally didn't even pick this as a game of the week last week because I kind of sold on you guys. I'm really sorry. We had Army-Navy last weekend. Goated game. I don't know if you've ever watched an Army-Navy game. If you haven't, you genuinely need to. It is the most ridiculous. It's just different football. Like, they're going to run the ball down your throats. They'll throw the ball maybe 5 times, and it doesn't usually work. But sometimes it does. The Army-Navy triple option on every play is absolute cinema. And this year, Navy came out of it and beat Army in a 17-16 absolute thriller. Super fun game. Peak uniform matchup, as always. Great game by the armed forces. Dylan Raiola, for those of you who don't know who Dylan Raiola is, he is Nebraska's quarterback. The wannabe Patrick Mahomes is officially entering the transfer portal. He will be tearing his ACL over the next few weeks because Mahomes did it. Because he's entering the transfer portal, he has to go to Texas Tech. Obviously, they're going to be in need of a quarterback coming up, and Patrick Mahomes went to Texas Tech, so it is destiny that Dylan Raiola will transfer there and then tear his ACL. So we're very excited about that. Otherwise, Kenny Dillingham, ASU's head coach, is currently the favorite to take the head coach at Michigan spot, which is really funny. We all know what happened to Michigan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Dillingham as a coach. I think he has a lot of maturity issues. But so did Michigan's coach, clearly. So, maybe he will fit there. Shout out Kenny Dillingham, representing the state of Arizona in Michigan. Go you, bro. Boy, that is going to bring an end to Carson's college knowledge. We have some UFL news for you guys.
UFL, it's for you.
It's for you.
Now, they are going absolutely crazy in season 4 here because they are completely tearing everything down. And not in the sense that they're getting rid of all the teams or something. No, they're keeping all the teams, but everyone is redrafting. They are doing a fantasy draft like Madden. Everyone goes into the fantasy draft pool and you restart. And I think that's actually I think it's good for the league.
I think it's since you mentioned it, kind of a fantasy redraft, I think it's dope. I was recently talking to Carson about this before the pod, and it just kind of seemed like an thing to do. But Alex describing it as a fantasy draft, low-key makes me hype for it. Imagine just every year it's just completely different teams just because it's a fantasy drafter. That's dope. That's actually pretty dope.
I don't know if this is a thing they're doing every year. I'm pretty sure it's just a 1-year thing. It's called the 2026 Player Allocation Plan, in place to accommodate the 4 new teams. So I think this will be a thing that happens when they change teams around, which may actually happen a lot over the next couple. So this may be an every year thing. As a fan of a team that already exists and already has a great roster, I don't love it that much, but I think it's really good for the league. One thing I want to talk about that's really interesting is there's a long, or not a really long process, but there's a post here that kind of breaks down the process. We can dive into that a little bit. Well, one thing I think that's really interesting is the one thing that's definitely different about this fantasy draft is that there's quarterback assignments by the league. Head coaches of every team are going to submit a list of their top 5 quarterbacks in priority order, and the league office will then assign 3 quarterbacks to each team based on the lists submitted by coaches. College allocation and other considerations will be taken into account when assigning quarterbacks to kind of keep them more local if that's possible, especially if 2 UFL teams list one guy as their number 1. Head coaches, offensive coordinators, and league offices to recruit quarterbacks will be able to do that after assignments, and that will all be finalized before the drafts where everyone else will be drafted.
That's interesting.
It is
That's
very
the part of it
interesting.
I don't like.
I don't know. I don't love it either. And then they go into how college allocation works, because obviously there are 4 XFL teams who are like, wow, so our whole rosters are just gone. They are allowed to choose a minimum of 10 players to essentially keep, but they have to be from their area basically. So each team has 4 colleges that they're listed as eligible feeders for. Birmingham, it's Bama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and UAB. Columbus is Indiana, Michigan, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. Dallas is Baylor, SMU, TCU, Texas, and North Texas. DC is Maryland, Penn State, Virginia, and Virginia Tech. Houston is Houston, LSU, Rice, and A&M. Louisville is Cincinnati, Kentucky, Louisville, and Tennessee. Orlando is Florida, FSU, USF, and UCF, and St. Louis is Illinois, Iowa, Iowa State, and Missouri. So if any team's prospects have come from either of those schools at any point, they are eligible to be kept, I guess, up to 10 players from every team. But everyone else is going to enter the UFL player draft, which will happen on January 13th, which will be the snake draft style. Every team will draft until all of those players are gone. And then the next day, there will be the free agents draft, which is all of the NFL draft eligibles, the NFL training camp cuts, and other showcase attendees that weren't already in the league. So it's interesting, I guess. It could be.
I think they're just trying to do too much with it.
I like the concept, but not if they're going to do it every year.
I don't think they will either.
I don't think they will. For this year, it's not bad. I think it's a good concept. I think the location thing is a little weird. I also think
they're trying to keep things local so that fans of college football teams in areas are kind of naturally drawn. Like me, I was telling Ian before the pod that I low-key might start becoming a kind of soft Defenders fan purely because so many Virginia Tech players are going to be moving over there.
Which is kind of crazy for you to say, because considering that's like the biggest rivalry.
Because they're, but just all these players that I've watched, like I don't watch Indiana football. I don't watch that stuff. I don't watch Iowa. I don't, so it's going to be interesting. I think it's actually kind of smart because
it is.
Especially because that stuff's going to be considered in where quarterbacks go and like the assignments. Like you're going to kind of naturally draw in people who are purely curious about those people who they watched in college. So I think that's kind of cool. It's a little much though. I definitely want to see how it works out.
Yeah.
But it is a little much. Especially because all of this is going to be done in a month. Like the last day of the draft is the 14th. And this stuff is just now coming out. This isn't even official. This is like insider content. We have insider content for you guys.
Of course, because we're Football is Anonymous, and we're the only podcast covering the UFL.
It's true.
So look it up. Us.
So I don't know. It's interesting. It kind of hurts me as someone who's a fan of an established team already. But especially because the XFL was already so much better than the USFL last year. Like,
yeah.
the fact that you completely nuked the whole USFL and are making them start from scratch, I think this is the only way to keep competition interesting is by just redoing.
Panthers should still be a football team, but
True, they should, but they're not. Stay tuned to find out who everyone's new teams are.
yeah, did we? I was about to say we never picked, did we?
No, I thought we were saving that for After Hours Season 2.
Yeah.
Were we? I didn't realize that. I mean, I'm fine with that because I have no clue still.
Yeah.
I don't want to root for any of them, dude. Like,
I will be sticking with my Battle Hawks and being sad when I see all the Virginia Tech players not go there. But I will ride or die with them. We have some coaching news as well.
oh,
Do we?
we do.
We do.
Stallions coach Skip Holtz is stepping away from the UFL. Currently, if you want to, I know it's a little early in the UFL's lifetime, but like USFL/UFL GOAT coach won 3 back-to-back championships.
Mm-hmm.
Something Andy Reid and the Chiefs couldn't do.
No, sir.
And he will be replaced by AJ McCarron as head coach, which is really interesting. I'm excited for that.
Keep in mind, AJ McCarron is stepping away from his campaign as was it governor or mayor that he was running for? I don't remember.
I have no clue.
He was running for some public office, and he actively stepped away from that to take this head coaching job.
I think that just doesn't like. Okay, I mean, there you go, AJ. I'm gonna look this up now because
I like it. I like the move. I think it's a good move from him. I'm talking about him, not the Stallions. I think he made a great decision.
Yeah, he was running for governor of Alabama.
Lieutenant governor.
Lieutenant governor. But he dropped out to coach the Birmingham Stallions. I mean, if that's not love of the game, I don't know what is.
And honestly, I respect it. You got to do what you love.
Yeah. In other news, we also have Bob Stoops, Renegades coach, is retiring, not stepping away like Skip Holtz. He's actually retiring. Also a big coach in the in the UFL. For those who are curious now, out of all 8 head coaches last year, there are 2 left. Still left in the league, and that is Shannon Harris from the Defenders and Anthony Becht from the Battlehawks. That is it. Everyone else is gone.
And speaking of new head coaches, Ted Ginn Jr. is now the coach of the Aviators, former receiver in the National Football League.
So shout out. We have one. We have one of the new team coaches. I'm gonna plead with the UFL again real quick. Please give us more media coverage, bro. Like, tell us stuff. We're trying. We will be your media coverage. I mean, we are your media coverage already. No, we're the only podcast that covers the UFL. So, like,
True.
give us more information, and we will put it out there. I think this draft information is super cool, and I wish they actually would put out stuff about it. I think it's super interesting. The fact that we're having to like get the info leaked to us through sources is kind of crazy. Like, you're a new young football league, and some people want to actually watch you. So say stuff. I don't know. UFL, we're the only podcast on the internet that covers you. So hit us up.
Just looking into it, like I think some of the moves they made make more sense when you consider that the college thing they're doing.
It does. Like a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it.
No, yeah, it totally does. But with that, we will go ahead and take a break to read an ad.
Mayotivations with Will Levis.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Oh no! What happened, dude?
Kyle Pitts had a good game this week.
Oh yeah, he finally broke out.
Finally! He's been in the league for 4 years, Alex. You don't get credit for one good game after being a bum for 4 whole seasons.
I mean, he is kind of a bum.
Kind of. He's the biggest bum in the NFL. 4th overall pick, a tight end, and he's been worthless.
He has been pretty disappointing.
Disappointing, Alex. Alex, that's too nice. That's way too nice. He is a fraud, a scam. It is highway robbery. The Falcons should stew.
Okay. Let's take a deep breath and talk about something cheerful, like Christmas.
Is the season.
You know it's not cheerful?
What?
Kyle Pitts getting praise for one game.
Ian, buddy, we need to do our ad read, and it's Christmas themed this time.
Fine, but I'm not letting this go.
Oh, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year.
That's right, and you know what makes Christmas even better? Shopping at footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com.
Yeah, we're a winner's shop. Unlike Kyle Pitts. He's a loser.
Ian, come on. Get in the Christmas spirit.
I would, but Kyle Pitts ruined my week.
Okay, let's focus on the good stuff. A few weeks ago, we officially launched our brand new Choking Hazard collection.
And it is perfect for the holidays. Nothing says Christmas like three guys who love football just a little too much.
You know who doesn't deserve a shirt in our collection?
Who?
Kyle Pitts.
He's not in our collection, Ian.
Good. He doesn't deserve it.
What is in the collection though, Carson?
Great question, Alex. First up, the Carson War Flashback shirt featuring me staring into the abyss, contemplating every Cardinals loss. It's like a snow globe of sadness.
Do I need to tell you about the Christmas spirit too?
Yes, you do.
All right, well, I'll tell you about our Christmas spirit because we also have the Mr. Electric t-shirt, which is a tribute to our biggest fan since day one, Dylan the Legend. He gave me that legendary nickname with the original comment of the week. Those who know. Wear proudly under your ugly Christmas sweater.
And the Ian Watkins wide receiver 1 shirt, celebrating a player who doesn't exist and is still more productive than Kyle Pitts.
Ian, please.
I'm just saying, Ian Watkins has 0 receptions because he's fictional, and that's somehow more impressive than Pitts' entire career.
You're fictional?
I guess.
Okay, my bad. Sorry. We're getting distracted. You can grab all 3 of these shirts and more at footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com. That's footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com.
And here's some amazing news that'll get everyone in the holiday spirit.
We've officially hit 100 followers on TikTok.
That's 100 more people who understand that Kyle Pitts is a bum.
Which means we're making our very own Footballers Anonymous Christmas album.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
I just realized that Christmas is next week. Oops. Anyways, it's coming soon. And there will be a brand new Christmas collection in the merch store to match. I have to do that too.
Will there be a song about Kyle Pitts being a disappointment?
No.
Silent Night, but it's about Kyle Pitts production. All I want for Christmas is for Kyle Pitts to retire.
You're not making those songs.
We're making joyful Christmas songs, Ian. They're about football, good football, and friendship, and Mitchell David Trubisky.
Oh, Mitch. Now there's someone who deserves Christmas praise.
The GOAT himself.
The greatest quarterback to ever do it. Unlike Kyle Pitts, but he's not a quarterback, so we don't need to talk about him.
Doesn't matter. Mitch is still better at being a tight end than Kyle Pitts.
That doesn't make much sense, but it's true. It's true. I respect the energy.
Yeah. That was horrendous. That was a horrendous voice crack.
I will be saving that and sending it to you.
At this point, just put it in the pod. Oh my
Okay, I'll
god.
just keep it.
Yeah. You know what would make a great Christmas gift, unlike that voice crack? Our merch. You can get all that at footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com.
Get that Choking Hazard collection for your friends, your family, and your weird uncle who only talks about fantasy football. Ian?
But not for Kyle Pitts. He does deserve nice things.
Yeah.
Fantasy football is entirely normal to yeah.
It's Christmas. Peace on earth. Goodwill toward men.
Kyle Pitts gets Cole. And even that's too generous because Cole has value.
All right. To wrap this up, footballersanonymous-shop.fourthwall.com for the Choking Hazard collection. Our Christmas album is coming soon, and we love all of you.
Except Kyle Pitts, apparently. I'm sorry.
Especially not Kyle Pitts.
Mitchell Trubisky is the GOAT. Merry Christmas, everyone, and let's get back to the show.
And before we get back to the show, We also don't like Pete Prisco.
True.
One good game, guys. After 4 years, like unbelievable.
Happy holidays, everybody.
All right. In NFL news, Kyle Pitts had a breakout game against Atlanta. In case you didn't know.
Carson,
By
we
guess.
just talked about this. We don't need Ian spazzing out.
But I played against him in fantasy, which, by the way, shout out
Now
Ian.
you're talking about fantasy.
No, hold on,
Ian's gonna
hold on,
spaz about
hold on. No.
fantasy.
I have to point this out because in our episode last week, I specifically said that I had Kyle Pitts on my team, and Ian told me that I should immediately drop him. And then he put up 45 points.
It's big.
Whatever. I didn't drop him. He was just on my bench because I listened to Ian.
You can't fall for the Kyle Pitts industry plant game.
No, I know I can't fall for it, but the fact that
Are you suggesting that Kyle Pitts has like clones like Matt Stafford?
No, I think they have a script to give him one good game a year.
yeah, in that one good game he was on my bench, and I'm annoyed.
Shout out the fact that this one game is gonna get Kyle Pitts on pace for his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdown.
Which
Yeah.
will
Like
happen.
1 touchdown is first year, 2 is second, 3 is third, 4 is fourth, and he's on pace for 5 is fifth.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or 4 is fourth. Yeah, 5 is fifth this year.
Oh, no, yeah, we're the 5 and the 5th. Wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Checking that now.
Yeah, because he has 4 right now.
Yeah, he does have 4. In other news, Phillip Rivers returned, and he actually didn't play that bad, especially against Seattle's defense, all things considered. He scored more touchdowns than the Seahawks did.
Picked him up in fantasy.
How'd he do? I wasn't starting him.
So I was on my first round bye because I'm in the playoffs. I'm the best team in the league. So it didn't matter. Shout out Trey McBride for the 49 fantasy points on my bench. Week that didn't even matter. He put up 12 points.
Okay, so not great, but
And I'm starting him again this week in the second round of my playoffs. So I'm really hoping he
Alright.
does well. Oh, sorry. He put up 7 points.
oh, that's not as good. But
Mhm.
speaking of playoffs, though, someone who won't be in the playoffs. Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
It's kind of crazy. The Chiefs missed the playoffs this year because Mahomes got injured, guys.
Right. Yeah,
That's
people
the
are saying that.
narrative,
Like they were literally gonna lose the game either way.
When did he go down? I wasn't watching the game. Was
9
it?
seconds
He
left.
went down with 30
9
seconds left in the game.
I thought it was
Oh.
9.
Oh yeah, it was more like 10 seconds left in the game. Well, Chiefs fans are mad at Gardner Minshew because he threw a pick instead of getting him into field goal range. But 1, they weren't in field goal range. 2, it wasn't a guarantee Mahomes got him in field goal range. And 3, even if Gardner got him in field goal range, they still would have lost the game in overtime because Gardner wasn't getting him down the field. They
Yeah,
would have been
dude.
eliminated regardless. And even if they somehow won the game, they were not beating Denver, like winning out, including beating Denver. That was the big one. And also, none of the Bills, Jags, and Texans are going to lose out.
Yeah, let's see. They're definitely not beating the Titans, bro. They're not
Nope.
beating the Chiefs. And
They're
okay,
not beating the Chiefs.
Raiders.
They're not beating
Wait.
themselves.
We get a
They're not-
Gardner Minshew revenge game against the Raiders.
Yes, we do.
That's so peak.
In Vegas.
This is so peak. Holy cow, I didn't even think of that.
Mhm.
But Mahomes tearing his ACL, that pretty much cooks them next year too. Like he's
Yeah.
not going to be in for at least half the season, which then you have to ask the question, is Kelsey going to play another year without Mahomes for half a year? Is Andy Reid going to keep coaching? Is he done?
Oh, yeah.
My thought
know.
process is that I don't think Kelsey wants to retire on a touchdown pass from someone that's not Mahomes, but I don't know.
That's true.
Or just a pass, not a touchdown pass.
That's fair, yeah. I don't know. Interesting. I will say, in his most recent podcast episode, every single time they reference the Chiefs, he did specifically refer to them next year as the Chiefs and not we.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So he did it like 4 times in a sentence, like when they were talking about getting Mahomes back. It's like, yeah,
I
hopefully
do
the
remember
Chiefs can
that.
get Mahomes back next year, and the Chiefs can do something good with him. And yeah, he did a lot. So the ACL thing
Yeah.
was rough.
I was gonna say if we didn't make it clear enough, Mahomes tore his ACL, which not good at all. Micah Parsons also tore his ACL. It was a really bad injury week. Like a bunch of star
Yeah.
players going down. Not great for the league, but I mean, what can you do?
That's one you never want to see, the ACL tear.
No.
I'll talk about this because JJ McCarthy, baby, 9 has surfaced, bro. 9.
Right.
He had a masterclass on Sunday Night Football. He's been
Against
playing
the
really
worst
good the
defense in the league.
past. He's been playing. What?
Yes, Matt.
Against the worst defense in the league.
Whoa. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore, bro. And you know what?
Not the Bengals.
Yeah, that would be the Bengals. Like, let's be real here. Also,
Sorry, bottom three.
these two, okay, all these stats I'm about to share though are over the last 2 weeks though, which is the Commanders defense and the Cowboys defense. And the Commanders defense is also pretty bad, but not the worst. But I mean, over the last 2 weeks, he's gotten 73% completions, 448 yards, 6 touchdowns to 1 interception, and 120.3 passer rating. It's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if you actually watched that Cowboys game, but yes, it is the worst defense in the league. But he did look really, really good against that. They're not even the worst. They made some good moves in free agency. They're a lower end defense now, but like still good. Still good. Signs of life. I'm believing in you, JJ McCarthy. I will never stop believing in you. Just keep that 9 stuff out.
It's going to be like 5 years down the line. J.D. McCarthy's working at McDonald's, and Carson's going to go to his McDonald's and be like, I'll never stop believing in you.
I will never stop believing in the JJ McCarthy story. Hey, I mean, shutting out the Commanders is impressive, though. Like, they're not a good team, but the shutout is impressive.
Yes, but J.J. McCarthy doesn't play defense.
He does when he's going against Josh Allen because there's another quarterback on the other side of the field.
Listen. I'll get back to that.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of the Commanders, Jaden Daniels will not play another game this season, which honestly not surprising because the Commanders season's dead in the water. They have no point in continuing, and they're sitting at 3-11. No, they're 4-10 now because they beat the Giants, but that's not impressive.
That's great for my draft pick. It also would have been great if the Giants won, though, so it kind of fell away. Oh, yeah, Commander season is dead in the water. What are you going to do about that? Speaking of dead in the water, Tua Tagovailoa has been benched for Quinn Ewers. And he's not even QB2 anymore. He is the emergency quarterback at QB3 behind Quinn Ewers and Zach Wilson. I was talking to Alex about this the other day. This isn't even me throwing any glaze towards Zach Wilson. Getting benched, not for Wilson, but for Quinn Ewers is absurd. Quinn Ewers should not be playing in the league. Quinn Ewers is garbage. This man, honestly crazy. He was fine.
You know what, though?
In college. He had a pretty good season. Elaborate.
They're going to make sure he's as bad as people say because he has a chance to perform. They are playing the Bengals defense.
True. This is true.
I think this is the best chance for Quinn to do anything.
This is true.
So if he doesn't perform, then he'll go back where he belongs. But if he performs, then he'll get another chance and maybe he'll turn a corner. We'll see.
I would be very shocked if Quinn Ewers turned her. I wouldn't hate it. I don't hate the guy. He's just bad. But, I mean, it'd be a cool story, I guess. But it is crazy that he has been put to QB3. I think Bro's career is done. Well, it is done on the Dolphins. And I don't think he's going to have a resurgence. He'll sign somewhere and be a starter next year. Nothing's going to happen.
If Vegas wasn't signing Kyler Murray, I'd say they'd be dumb enough to sign Tua. But
he's probably going to go somewhere. Pittsburgh.
He could go to Pittsburgh. He could go to the Jets.
Yeah.
He could go to Minnesota.
Just to see, I guess.
Just to get the Kevin O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's certainly interesting to pick Quinn Ewers over Zach Wilson, to say the least.
It is.
That's take away from it.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, you might as well see if you want to test a rookie quarterback who probably won't turn out to be anything, like, now's the time. Like, you're not doing anything this season anyways. You might as well throw him in, especially in a game against a horrible defense. Might as well try. I personally think Zach Wilson will surprise people if he starts anywhere in the coming years because, again, first round talent, very, very good player, but the Jets. But Quinn Ewers, might as well find out. Just see if you have a Brock Purdy on your team. You don't, but you might as well. It is interesting. I didn't expect it, but I don't hate it. It just won't work. Will not work.
The Jags are extending Jacoby Myers, which makes a lot of sense because he's been great for that offense, as shown by the fact that Trevor Lawrence this past week threw had 6 touchdowns, threw 5, had 1 rushing. Oh, it was against the Jets. Yeah, Josh Allen and the Bills didn't play as good against the Jets as the Jags did. Drake May and the Patriots didn't play nearly as good against the Jets as the Jags did. Who else have they played?
Alex's Golden Boy Broncos.
The Broncos. I mean, yeah, the Broncos did not play as
Broncos
good
played
against
horribly
the Jets.
against the Jets, actually.
Like people are discrediting the Jags for their win against Jets, but that was an impressive win against a not great team. They
Wait.
showed out.
You're telling me impressive wins against bad teams are good?
It takes a lot to impress me. That's what the thing is.
Interesting.
This isn't satisfied easily.
No,
As
that
a,
didn't impress me. That
As Kobe Myers fantasy manager, I do like this move. I liked it when he was going from the Raiders to the Jaguars. And I think it's totally fine. If it's working, it's working. If he's giving me fantasy points, I'll love him on whatever team he's on.
Real?
I will say give Strange the ball more, please, Trevor. Brandon Strange is also on my fantasy team, and I'm starting both of them.
I want to also throw out that it was a 3-year, $60 million extension. I didn't say it before.
It's a solid contract. A really solid contract. Shout out to
Especially
Kobe.
All right.
Raiders.
I am going to get up while Carson talks about Trey McBride.
It's time for my weekly glazing of Trey McBride. Ladies and gentlemen, Trey McBride, he had an incredible,
Also on my fantasy team.
absolutely incredible game against one of, if not the best defense in the league in the Houston Texans. He was targeted 13 times for 12 catches. He had 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. It was beautiful. This man is playing incredible football, and he is on pace for an absolutely historic season. With these 134 yards added to his total, he is now the first tight end in NFL history to have back-to-back 100 plus reception seasons. Already crazy work. He has 11 receptions from breaking Zach Ertz's record for most receptions by a tight end in a season ever. He broke Travis Kelce's record with 6 straight games with 5+ catches. He's also 11 catches away from breaking the franchise record for most receptions by a Cardinals player in history. Not only that, he is also on pace to have more catches, more touchdowns, and more yards than Travis Kelce ever has in a season. Ever. Looking at his stats right now, currently Trey McBride has 105 receptions. Travis Kelce's reception high was 110 in 2022. Very easy to pass that with 3 games coming up, one of which, by the way, is against the Bengals defense. So he will be good there. He has 10 touchdowns on the season, and he has been balling out, especially at the end of the season, which Kobe Brissett. Travis Kelce's touchdown high is 12, also in 2022. So again, very close to that. And then with yards, he's at 1,071. Travis Kelce's high is at 1,400. So that's about 300 yards needed, which really isn't that crazy, considering the fact that he has had the past few games against, by the way, against Seattle, San Francisco, and Houston are these last games. He's had 115 plus in all of those games. I can easily see him going for plus 150 against Cincinnati, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him. So yeah, all of this is very attainable. Regardless, even if he doesn't pass the yards record, it's still one of the best statistical seasons for a tight end ever. Absolutely crazy by Trey McBride. I'm so excited for him to be the next Larry Fitzgerald, who's one of the greatest players we've ever had, and then just not get a Super Bowl ring. I'm sorry, Trey McBride. We'll try. But also, I love you. Cool.
I also want to throw out that the Arizona Cardinals are the only team, like this is set in stone, that will be swept by the AFC South this year.
Yes, let's go. Oh, I'm really excited. We're 1 game away, and we got to lose it too because we need that draft pick.
Hang on, I need to double check myself. I realized the Titans have 3 wins. I forgot what the other team they beat was.
Cleveland.
No, I knew Cleveland. I knew Arizona.
Do they have 3 wins?
I thought
They have 2, I think.
No, because Arizona was the only until they beat Cleveland.
Yeah,
You're
they
right.
have 2
You're right.
wins. But the
Yeah, so
Giants also only have 2 wins.
So I keep thinking it's just the Giants and the Raiders, but it's also the Titans.
Titans are still at 2 wins.
They will be at 3 after this week, though.
Oh my gosh, you know what we haven't talked about? All of the Joe Burrow trade rumors.
Oh, yeah.
I did not write that
Yeah.
down. Those are a thing.
I mean,
yeah.
when I don't know, I might be making this up, but I feel like he was asked about it. It wasn't his response to that. The whole no team would have won with me at quarterback today.
Yes, something like that.
That was the response to the trade rumor. I don't remember. But yeah, I've seen a lot of it too. I've seen a lot of like considerations for like the Giants, pretty much the teams that need quarterbacks. I don't think it'll happen, and I think if it does happen, it'll happen in like 2 years.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening yet.
Listen, I was telling Alex this the other day. There was one time where an all-pro quarterback on the Bengals was very dissatisfied with the fact that they weren't building a team around him. He happened to wear number 9. He was incredible for them for many seasons, but they wouldn't build around him. Eventually, requested a trade, and he got out of there. And that man was Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
So, what if we ran it back?
No.
Just saying. What if we ran it back? What if we did it? What if we ran it back? Joe Burrow versus Kyler Murray week 1 next year?
They're in Arizona.
In Arizona?
With
Peak
Fernando Mendoza as the backup quarterback.
cinema.
Oh, gosh,
Peak
what this
cinema.
collusion.
Collusion.
Peak
Oh,
cinema.
God.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you know, when I make, after week 18, I will be making the NFL schedule. I will not reveal it until after the Super Bowl because I have to figure out who's hosting that first game of the season. But like, I'll have everything set in stone. Cardinals hosting the Raiders will be week 1 because that will be Kyler Murray returning to Arizona either on Sunday or Monday Night Football. It will happen.
It will be peak. It will be peak, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
a Kyler Murray MVP season.
Yeah, you guys aren't ready. It's gonna be awesome. Oh, also one more piece of news. K-pop Demon Hunters will be featured in the Vikings Lions Christmas game halftime show.
W.
Huge W.
That's cool. Shout out for
We're going up with this one.
yes, sir.
Wait, is this foreshadowing that the Vikings are going to win that game because they have yellow in their uniforms and they're going to be golden?
No.
No,
No.
Or do you think the Lions are going to show them how it's done?
That.
You get ready for the takedown.
no. I'm
Kneecap
going
style.
with the golden. I'm going with the golden. The Vikings will sweep the Lions.
Or will the game be crashed by a boy band and they might make the soda pop?
No, the boy band is gonna be us.
Soda pop.
No, guys, the boy band is gonna be us performing live our Footballers Anonymous Christmas album.
And soda pop.
We're going to be all like,
Soda pop.
this is what it sounds like.
It's gonna be awesome.
Exactly. Honestly, it'll set the audience free.
I drafted Pitts, and the very next game he went on IR. This year, to save me from tears, I'll trade Pitts to someone stupid.
That was.
We might have to make a Kyle Pitts song. In
I
there.
think we do have to make a Kyle Pitts song. It's too peak. Anyways, with
We'll
that,
figure it out.
with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go to the climax of our Footballers Anonymous show. We're gonna kind of breeze through the baddies pretty quickly, just for time's sake. But for those of you who don't know how this works, every week we here at Footballers Anonymous we individually go and rank every team from best to worst. And then we use this thing called math to combine our lists and create one collective list, power ranking. The bottom 3 teams on this list are known as the baddies. There's not much original about these baddies, unfortunately, but we can kind of talk about them pretty quickly. Our first team, Ian talked about them a little bit already. He saw them in person, so we'll kind of let him talk about what he saw. At number 30, our first baddie are Cleveland Browns. And we're the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, listen, there was not much to show for in the game against the Bears. Their offense could not get anything going. Shador threw his 3 interceptions. Really just kind of like rookie mistakes, honestly. Some great defensive play from the Bears. They couldn't get Quinshon Judkins running. Absolutely nothing was working for him. And defensively, they're just getting diced up. Myles Garrett did have a sack and a half. So now he is 1 sack away from tying the NFL single season record and a sack and a half away from breaking it, which I think Myles Garrett, that's almost a given. And it could definitely happen this week against the Buffalo Bills.
I did say Alex, I'm so sorry. Last week I said that the defense would combine for 10 sacks over the next 2 weeks, and they got none this week, which means they're all going to be against the Bills. So
Yeah, 7.5 sacks. Oh, sorry, 8.5.
I'm so sorry, dude. That's unfortunate.
We'll still win the game, but it'll be like 13-12.
Dude,
Yeah.
looking at these stats, this is insane. The leading rusher was Shador with 24 yards, and their leading receiver was Isaiah Bond. UDFA Isaiah
I
Bond.
think it was like a singular 50-yard reception.
It was 2 catches for 89 yards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
Well,
just going to assume one of them was just one bomb.
Well, I was there. I saw it happen.
Yeah.
Because what happened was it was Jalen Johnson guarding him, so I started screaming from the stands, "Jalen Johnson, you're washed. Jalen Johnson, get off the field." And then the very next play was the Jalen Johnson pick in the back of the end zone.
Oh, goated.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah. So that's the Browns, but it does get worse, ladies and gentlemen, because at number 31 we have the Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
And yeah, they just played a very uninspiring game against the 49ers. We'll say they actually did get some offense going. Tony Pollard was really good, and Cam Ward actually had a decent game. 170 yards, no picks, 2 touchdowns. Not horrible. He just has no weapons, and we'll continue out. But
Titans.
yeah, Titans, bro. But there is one team that is even worse. They got shut out this week. It is the Ultra Baddie at number 32, Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett and the Raiders. Wow.
I picked the Raiders on accident.
This
I did it as a joke, and then I never switched it back.
Holy cow, dude. How bad. Jeez. I don't want to talk about them unless anyone has anything to say. We can just move on.
Just don't.
Cool. Moving on to our top 5 teams, ladies and gentlemen. We have at number 5 coming in, it's Daddy Josh and the Buffalo Bills.
We're so back. We are so back. Hey, what was that about last week when we were gonna lose and the Patriots would be in this spot up instead of us?
Oh, no, the Patriots would be at number 1, not here. You're not ready for
The
that yet.
Patriots should still be up here.
I agree, actually. They are at 6. I do think they're still top 5. I didn't put them at top 5.
You know, if they were top 5, they wouldn't choke a 21-point lead to the only good team they've played this season.
Love how Alex. Love how Alex. I'm not gonna say this on the pod because never mind. I'll save it for after.
Okay.
If we want to talk about the game, we locked in the second half. We were down 21-0, as a lot of people know. 24-7 at the half. Then we went on to score 5 straight touchdowns. Our offense, Josh Allen, could not be stopped. After going down 21-0, it was touchdown, 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 and that was a punt. That was basically ending the game. So, yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
Locked in.
Josh Allen had plot armor this week because of the announcement that his wife Haley is pregnant, so he had plot armor.
This is true.
Which, by the way,
Not only,
there is actually, I'm gonna save this for conspiracy because I have a conspiracy this week.
honestly, you can go ahead and give it because I actually don't have one this week. James Cook also went off. He had 107 and 2 touchdowns. Dawson Knox, who not only did Josh Allen and Haley Seinfeld announce their pregnancy. Why do I feel like I'm saying her name wrong?
Haley Seinfeld.
I'm not. Haley Seinfeld. Sorry. I wanted to say Steinfeld for some fucking reason. Anyway, ignore that. Not only did Josh Allen and Haley Seinfeld announce their child coming to, like, they're giving birth to a child, Dawson Knox had a child. Dawson Knox and his wife had a child this week, and he went off. He got 2 touchdowns. Dawson Knox surpassed the Bills tight end touchdown all-time record. It was just overall a great game. Vibes were up after we came back. And yeah, we are back in the top 5. And we also just signed Matthew Judon to our practice squad, which is interesting. I mean,
Why are the Bills just signing the most random people, dude? I feel like every time
Because
there's
it's
some random washed player who I see get signed, it's always the Bills.
because Brandon Bean loves to do that. He used to only do it with former Bills players. Brandon Bean constantly would sign players that the Bills got rid of like 2-3 years ago and just keep bringing them back. And now he's expanding to other teams. Judon's interesting, though. I'm curious.
Yeah. Coming in at number 4, though, I got to watch this team play. It is the Houston Texans.
Holy.
Defense, bro. Good Lord. And you know what? You still got torched by Trey McBride. Just thought I would say it. Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Just thought I'd throw that.
That is the only player that they have been torched by since November 9th against the Jaguars.
True. Yeah.
I mean,
Just dominant game. They started off on top and they kept it. And yeah, there's not a lot to say about a dominant win against the Cardinals. Shout out.
the craziest part about this, like they're playing like a top 5 team, but they could always still just miss the playoffs too, which is even crazier because the AFC, how it is. Like I think they'll be in, but they do play the Chargers and the Colts coming up. If they slip, if they get cold and slip, they'll miss the playoffs, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's how competitive both the AFC and NFC are, but like two very competitive conferences this year.
Yeah. Coming in at number 3, again, I'm going to preface this right now. These are our week 15 power rankings. It is week 5, or it is week 16. And we all watched, yes, it's week 5. And we all watched Thursday Night Football last night. Okay. But that is not being taken into account with these power rankings. That is next week. So next week, these will change. But in regards to their game against Phillip Rivers, we have the Seahawks at 3.
Which is a fair placement.
I absolutely love the Seahawks. In my power rankings, I put them at 2 because I think the Seahawks are. I love them. Also, I have Jay said on.
I didn't say it.
Say what?
You put them at 2 because
I love them.
And
I think they're a much better team than the Broncos.
there it is.
Oh.
There it is.
See, my thing, again, this changed a lot, obviously, Thursday Night Football, that I'm not going to talk about. But I did see a decent chunk of this game, only a little bit. They had a pretty good game offensively. Their run game was not good. They were getting pretty limited in terms of yards per carry on the ground. And they just couldn't get it done in the red zone. There were no touchdowns scored by this Seattle offense. And for a top 2 team, that's concerning. Like, especially because they've been having a couple offensive woes the past few weeks. A little concerning against the Colts. So I put them around here for that reason. Again, Thursday Night Football will change that, but that's why they're at 3 for this week. Dominant defense, and their offense was still productive. Just the red zone was not great.
Yeah, my whole thing putting the Seahawks 3 is kind of similar story. The offense has been pretty sluggish outside of like going based off of the first 15 weeks. Like really the last 4, it's been pretty sluggish against not the best defenses. The Colts defense is good, but they could have been doing more offensively to warrant them going up. And they were also kind of just playing bad teams. So
Yeah.
The Broncos have.
What was that, Ian?
What?
But the Broncos competition has been D1.
The Broncos have the Broncos teams that they've played against, they have a higher winning percentage than the Seahawks by a substantial margin.
No,
Anyway, would you like to move on to number 2?
Yes, we can.
A sluggish offense with the number 1 wide receiver who is projected to beat the all-time record for single streak from yards in the season.
The Broncos are at 2.
Also, the Seahawks special teams has been electric with the addition of Rashid Shaheed. That is worth mentioning.
This is true.
Has heavily impacted the Seahawks game, and it is very good to see because I'm a big fan of Rashid Shaheed on the Saints. I had him in fantasy a couple of years.
Anyway, yes, the Broncos sitting at number 2. Unlike another team sitting on top of the AFC, the Broncos actually beat the I can't beat good teams allegations by doing a very good job beating the Packers this past week. Micah Parsons got injured, but he also got injured towards the end of the game. It influenced a little more than the Mahomes injury, but like the Broncos were already winning at that point as well. And even without Micah Parsons, the Packers are still a very good team. The Broncos looked very good this week. Bo Nix went crazy. He threw 4 touchdowns. The offense was clicking. Like this is like the Broncos offense actually looking very, very strong. They've been inconsistent, but this was a top-notch game from the Broncos offense against a very solid defense in Green Bay. They also gave Love fits, which wasn't surprising because the Broncos defense, he threw 2 picks in that game. They got the ball down the field and scored some, but they did not play well at all in the second half, and it bit them. Now, the team sitting at number 1, they hadn't lost when we made these power rankings. So the Broncos sitting at 2, even though I put them at 1, makes some sense. I expect it to change. I'm going to put the Broncos at 1 again because I don't see why not, unless they lose to the Jaguars, which is possible.
I gotta
because
see
the
them
Jaguars-
play. Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say.
because the Seahawks. I'm not gonna say anything about Thursday Night Football, but the Seahawks definitely changed their position.
Yeah.
And I will say, Ian, I know you said that they have wide receiver about to break the records and whatnot. Sluggish offense. Still, like, no offensive touchdowns over the last 4 weeks at all. Which I don't know, as an expert on offenses that put up lots of yards and don't do anything in the red zone, I would know that doesn't really make your offense good if you can't get it done in the red zone. Now, again, they did a lot to change that.
That hasn't been the story the entire season. That's been like a recent story. The offense has still been good.
It has been good, but over the past 4 weeks, with the exception of which game of Atlanta, because they did do some against Atlanta, but even like the Minnesota shutout, no offensive touchdown.
It also took them a while to get going, from what I remember in the Atlanta game. Like
did.
obviously Atlanta wasn't going to win, but like they took them a while to actually pick up the pace.
But they have been hardcore carried by their defense, and I love Seattle's defense. Well, I hate Seattle's defense, but I love Seattle's. Lot to talk about there next week for sure. But yeah, like Alex said earlier, number one, it is the LA Rams. Ignoring Thursday Night Football, they had a really, really, really good game against the Lions.
Now what we can talk about. Can we talk about it yet, or are we saving this for next week?
If you want. I was gonna save it for next week just because we're talking about them being one, but I don't know. If I start talking about the Thursday Night Football game, I'm gonna go on for like 10 minutes because
I was talking about Puka.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Let's talk about Puka. We can talk about Puka. Let's leave it at that for that game. But like the Puka stuff, we should talk about now.
Yes.
Puka. Puka's a little bit stupid.
A little.
Just generally, he uses all of his brain power on route running. He went on a streamer's live stream, Aiden Ross. I really didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't know the guy. I think a lot of people did, but the guy that was streaming asked Puka to do a touchdown celebration, and it was like an
You got this.
an anti-Semitic gesture.
Yeah.
I don't think Puka knew. I honestly was looking around. I didn't know. Most people, like a lot of Jewish people, didn't know. Some people did, which I believe that it's not something Puka should be doing. Puka apologized, but it was definitely very interesting. Puka also complained about the refs and did get fined for that. Like complained about on the stream, and then immediately after the Thursday night game, which we'll talk about later as to why he talked about this, but he tweeted about the refs. Sorry, he X'd about the refs.
X'd.
Yeah, it ridiculous, but yeah, I heard also that the Rams flight got canceled and like.
Also, during this whole span of things, Puka Nakua's brother Samson Nakua got arrested as a suspect in a car theft.
Yes. Of a Lakers player. Michigan Panthers legend.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. Great. Puka had a great game though against the Rams. He had 181 yards, I think. Or
against the Rams.
Against the Lions. Yes, against the Rams. Honestly, he did have a good week against the Rams. Like he caused them a lot of grief, but also did
Against
really
the Rams?
Yes, against the Rams. He had a really good week against the Rams. He caused them a lot of grief this week.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. Going through the power rankings for week 15, we have at 32 the Raiders, 31 the Titans, 30 the Browns, 29 the Cardinals, 28 the Jets, 27 the Giants, 26 the Commanders, 25 the Saints, 24 the Dolphins, 23 the Bengals, 22 the Chiefs, 21 the Falcons, 20 the Bucks, 19 the Cowboys, 18 the Vikings, 17 Panthers, 16 Ravens, 15 Steelers, 14 Eagles, 13 Colts, 12 Lions, 11 Chargers, 10 49ers, 9 Jags, 8 Packers, 7 Bears, 6 Patriots, 5 Bills, 4 Texans, 3 Seahawks, 2 Broncos, and 1 the Rams.
Remember, these are our power rankings, so it makes them automatically better than P. Prisco's.
That's right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Alex gave me permission to give you Conspiracy of the Week this week. My conspiracy of the week is we know that Josh Allen kind of balls out whenever some sort of big event happens, right? It happened when he got engaged, married, and whatnot. Like this kind of stuff happens. Plot armor, right? Everyone has it. When asked about the news that his wife is pregnant, he said, "Well, obviously, it's no surprise to me." You know why? When they found out, he specifically chose to announce the news right before the Patriots game so he would have the plot armor he needed to beat them. And that's why they made the 21-point comeback. Because Josh Allen strategically, and I salute him for this, strategically chose when to use his plot armor against Drake May.
I could see this.
It's not crazy. Like,
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Mitchell David Trubisky gave him this advice.
yeah, absolutely. He definitely did. Alex, do you want to take us through our quick pick'ems update?
Of course. We got some very intriguing, if I could pull up groups. We got some very intriguing scores this week. Oh my God, I saw 10 and I thought I only got one game last week. It was the Thursday night game. So in week 15, Ham Bam lost the lead, only getting 5 games right. RT Remkos is now sitting at 143 and 81. Granted, I think Ham Bam just didn't pick all the games. I think that's what happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ham Bam just didn't pick all the games. So the highest winning percentage still belongs to Ham Bam at 143 and 72. Signed FBA was at 141 and 80. Bearsaholics at 139 and 84. Billsaholics 133 and 91. Cardaholics at 110 and 103. Carson, you are falling apart.
I have sold the past 2 weeks. I had a 3 and 11 week and a 4 and 12 week. Genuinely selling right now.
Buffalo Bill picks is still at 103 and 58. I gotta let him know to make his picks.
Yeah.
And then, FBA has not made picks in a while either, but that's okay. We're just going to do the math at the end of the season.
Yeah, we'll just do the math. Yeah, thank you. Ian, you want to take us through our footballer select for the week?
Yep. First up, we have the Packers going into Chicago to take on the Bears Saturday, December 20th at 20 p.m. Eastern Time. This is going to be a game, not one, I think probably the game of the week. I am taking the Chicago Bears to win the rematch because I'm not biased and have elite ball knowledge.
I'm also going to be taking the Bears.
Yeah, I don't think it's crazy to say they split. No, especially with Michael Parsons out.
And especially with the last game win as well.
I think the Packers are also too injured, yeah. That's shocking, Ian.
He picked the Broncos last week, bro.
We're going to talk about this game first because I'm already talking about the Broncos. Jaguars at Broncos. Guess who Ian picked?
I'm taking the Jaguars strictly because I want fantasy points from Jacoby Myers and Brenton Strange. All I care about right now is my fantasy playoffs. And so I want Jacoby Myers and Brenton Strange to go off in order to do so. I think the Jaguars need to win the game. And also, I want the Jaguars to win. So, sue me.
I'm picking the Broncos. It's a very interesting matchup here. I haven't been a full believer in the Jags, especially ever since I saw them go to overtime against the Cardinals. Little skeptical there. But they've been playing good football. I believe in the Broncos more. I
have been a bit of a believer of the Jaguars, but I still think they're a very good team, but I think even after their performance last week, I think it's going to be that Broncos defense could be a little too much for them, and I think that is a tough game to play going up against the best team in football.
Lastly, we have a bit of a mean matchup, but also a great one nonetheless. The Bucs going in to take on the Panthers Sunday, December 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm taking the Panthers, and it's strictly because of what Alex will talk about momentarily.
I'm also taking the Panthers.
Oh my gosh. I know the playoff scenario you're talking about. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm also taking the Panthers, not because of the stupid playoff scenario, but just because I think the Panthers are better, and I think they'll win.
Do you know all the details of the playoff scenario?
Yes, I've seen it on several reels.
Okay.
It's the one where they split. And then one of them, and it comes down to a strength of schedule debate, and yes.
So it's actually not strength of schedule.
Or strength of record, whatever it is.
No, it's actually, they're wrong. They didn't look into it hard enough. I did. I know specifically what it is. It's one scenario, and it only relies on one team.
Oh, brother. Okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
We're going to talk about this now. The Panthers and Bucs are currently tied at 7-7 for the NFC South lead, and they're the only two teams that can win the division. They also play each other twice coming up. So Obviously, if one of those two teams wins both games, they win the division. It gets a little dicey, though, when they split. When they split, it all comes down to their Week 17 matchups. The Panthers playing the Seahawks and the Bucks playing the Dolphins. If they split and the Bucks beat the Dolphins, the Bucks win the division, regardless of if the Panthers win or not. If they split and the Bucks lose, there's two things that can happen. If the Panthers beat Seattle, they win the division. But if they both lose Week 17 and they split, here's the kicker. A lot of people are going around saying it's the strength of schedule, strength of victory thing. It is not that, because the strength of victory, it does not go in the Panthers' favor. What actually is the tiebreaker here is entirely to do with the Atlanta Falcons. The reason this is the case, Atlanta is currently sitting at 5-9. If they were to split, the Panthers and Bucks would finish the year at 8-9. The Falcons would have the only way the Panthers win the division in that scenario. The Falcons have to win out, which would put all three teams at 8-9, and then the Panthers would win the division because of their head-to-head-to-head tiebreaker. Because the Panthers would have been 3-1 versus those two teams because they swept the Falcons, and the Bucks would be 2-2 because they just lost to Atlanta this past week. So their division fate relies on the Falcons if that happens.
Holy crap.
That's why people are saying it wrong. It is not to do with strength of victory, strength of schedule. It is entirely if the Atlanta Falcons can win 3 games in a row to end the year.
Well, no, Carolina could still win with strength of victory. They could, in theory. It depends on the Packers, the Texans, and one other team.
I was looking at like every combination I could find. I don't know if I did the Texans, but I was looking at like yes, I did actually. I had them lose out. I was looking at every combination I could find. It was just not working. I don't know if that's just a playoff predictors restriction or
probably is, because that's decided by something. I don't know how.
But
it works.
It has strength of victory, like in the tiebreaker stuff when you go over each of the.
Yeah,
they have
but
a little
the other thing you
section
didn't take into account was you also have to account for the games that the teams that they're playing have played, and like.
Yeah, Ian washed. I had the Packers win out. I had the Texans lose out. I had the Cowboys win out. I had the Falcons winning a bunch of games. I had the Saints losing out for the Panthers. I had.
Interesting.
I had basically every team that wasn't the Falcons.
Interesting.
Like I had the Falcons winning out too, except for one game. If the Falcons lost a single game, the Panthers were not winning the division. Like maybe there's a flaw in there somewhere, but like that is what I found to be like what actually does it for the Panthers is that specific tiebreaker.
Interesting. Huh. That's kind of cool.
I was testing this for a while too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay then. I guess moving on from that to our college games of the week. Tonight before recording, we had 9-seed Alabama take on 8-seed Oklahoma. What is up, guys? Carson here with Footballers Anonymous. As you can see, the Oklahoma game has just started. Oklahoma versus Alabama. Obviously, we're not recording our episode until later tonight. But for the record, our picks are as follows. Ian, myself, and Alex are all picking Oklahoma. So we'll either look really stupid or we'll be really smart. So in a second, we'll either laugh at ourselves or we'll pat ourselves on the back. Cool. Just for the record. We all took Oklahoma. Nice.
We
we'll
all
go
lost.
over that. We'll go over that next week, but we all lost.
Theoretically.
Theoretically. Up next, to open up the Saturday slate on December 20th at 12 p.m. Eastern, we have number 10, Miami, taking on 7-seed Texas A&M. It's an easy Texas A&M victory. It just is, factually.
I agree. I actually have A&M versus Tech in my prediction finals, so I have to ride with that. Even though I think Miami has a chance, I think it's going to be A&M.
Miami.
Final is crazy work.
Hold up.
But
Let's hit it.
Use up. Carson, your hands look broken. Use up.
use down. Up next, we have at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have 11-seed Tulane, Jake Retzloff, the BYU, as many people know him, taking on 6-seed Ole Miss. And Ole Miss is going to win easily.
Agreed.
Love the Group of 5 love, but Ole Miss is easily going to win. And then we have This is an interesting one. We have 12 seed JMU taking on 5 seed Oregon. Now, a lot of people don't like that JMU's in the playoffs. Okay. I personally think JMU is more deserving than a lot of teams in the playoffs. I think JMU is more deserving than Bama. I think JMU is more deserving than Miami. I say that because, yes, they're a Sunbelt team, but unlike Miami and Bama, they did literally everything they were supposed to. Literally everything they were supposed to.
They put Sun Belt to A.
Yes, they did. They did everything they were supposed to. They won their championship. They played dominant against every team they played, and they showed promise against a lot of Power 4 teams. I can't pick them because Oregon is just that good, but I think this is going to be a much better game than people think. And of all the upsets, this is the one that I've wanted to pick the most. I have tossed and turned in bed for several nights. I literally delayed yesterday. I was going to put out my predictions video. I delayed it a day because I could not decide if I was going to stake my reputation on this upset or not. I did not. I am picking Oregon.
That's okay, Carson, because I am putting my reputation on the line, and I'm picking JMU.
Oregon. O's up. Quack, quack.
You know what a lion would do to a duck in real life?
Nothing. Lions don't hunt ducks.
They're also
And it
dogs.
was
They're also dogs, not lions. But yes,
A dog would still destroy a duck.
true. But anyways, we have.
No one's talked about Oregon since the Oregon Trail.
Okay.
This is true. Oh, but the
That is
East.
nuts.
And Bo Nix, Alex, Bo Nix.
That's Bo Nix.
It's Bo Nix.
Justin
No, but
Herbert.
Bo Nix, you misunderstand. Bo Nix was on the Oregon Trail. That's how legendary he is.
That's
Moving on, we have the FCS playoffs are continuing. We have 3 seed Montana at 2 seed Montana State. This is an awesome rivalry we have going on. It's on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It is the two teams' 125th ever meeting, but the first in the playoff. And this game is so big that tickets for this game currently cost more than all of the FBS playoff games this week. Montana State costs more than Alabama, Oklahoma.
Makes sense. Give me Montana. No state.
Give me Montana State simply because they have a better logo.
Give me Montana State. I actually did research for this one because I got embarrassed in my picks last time. Give me Montana State. And then up
Who
next,
won the FCS picks last time?
the FCS playoffs.
Like, who won our picks?
Oh, I don't know. You could go back. I think it was Ian.
Sure.
I think I only got one right, and it was Illinois State.
I know we all got
While Ian looks that up. Up next, we have the run for glory continues. Unranked Illinois State is
I got the
still
results.
in it. You have the results?
You guys both went
1-3.
1-3. I went
Yeah.
2-2.
Goated. Yes, the run for glory continues. Unranked Illinois State is going up against number 12 Villanova on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Give me the Redbirds, baby.
Dude, Illinois State and the Bears are playing at the same time.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, I mean, hour between the two, but still, it's kind of crazy. I'm taking Illinois State easily.
You gotta do the multi-view.
Yeah, I will. I actually will. That's kind of crazy.
dude, give me the Redbirds, bro. This is heat. I love this. They're going to do great things. Absolute cinema. We love the Illinois State Redbirds. Go Redbirds. With that, though, that is going to...
If the Redbirds mascot wants to come onto the podcast,
No, not Reggie Redbird on Ozempic. They just had a mascot remodel. It's a severe downgrade.
ooh, ibuprofen.
EV Pro. Well,
Oh, he's a little
don't-
goofy.
I don't think that's proper, Alex.
You went
Oh,
ibuprofen.
why are his eyes so big?
Yeah, Carson's like, especially when you look to the side-by-side comparison of the old one.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
it. I've got it up right now. Hold on, I'm sending it to
Reggie
the group
Redbird is
chat.
a crackhead. Carson, you can just throw it up on screen right now.
I'll throw
for
it up on
everyone watching.
screen. Reggie Redbird might be on crack.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, with that is going to bring us to the end of this episode of Footballers Anonymous. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Like to thank you guys for getting us to 100 followers on TikTok. We're not done yet, though, so keep them coming. You can follow us at FBA Pod on TikTok. You can follow us, Footballers Anonymous, on Instagram. Subscribing on YouTube makes a big difference. Liking the video, commenting on the video makes a big difference. Commenting on our reels, on our posts, and giving us questions, all of that means so much. If you have the podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, by the way, we're still very proud of that. Make sure to follow the podcast. Leave a review if you think it's really cool. We have read all of our reviews. You guys have left some very, very, very glowing reviews. We appreciate that. We are currently a perfect 5-star rating on Apple, so shout out to you guys for that. Thank you so much, Footballer Nation. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, where, of course, we only post Minion memes. But with that, thank you for joining us, Footballer Nation. Let's ride.